Yeah, kind of like.
Yeah, just that teeny little section, because that's pretty much what I wanted you to do.
Hi, I'm Peter, and I work with Lawson Design, and we build breweries, among other things. So I've talked to quite a few people over the years, and one of the questions that keeps coming up is, what do architects do? So we decided to put together a series of videos to explain that. And we've narrowed it down to 3 kind of roles that we play, and they involve communication, design, and drive. So the first thing we like to talk about is communication. In the beginning, the communication starts with listening to you and talking with you and developing a rapport so that we can understand the intent of your project. It's your dream and it's your vision that we're trying to manifest in the world. We're trying to put material to it. Once we have that intent, then we start to disseminate that information out to all the other people in the project. So that means we're now communicating with town officials about zoning, about planning. We're talking to engineers about constructability. We're talking about financing with you, about how this project's going to come to be. There's a big role in construction and talking with construction folks. We're also talking to your manufacturers, your brewing equipment, the technical side of things. And all of that comes out of the intent. So once we have that intent, then we can able to bring that information forward and get it to all the parties. There are 3 things that are different about Austin Design: our experience, our sense of empathy, and our focus on engagement. I've been in the beer industry since the early 90s, during the first wave of craft beer. I worked as a professional brewer at the Big Time Brewery in Seattle. And that gave me the basis and the foundation to understand breweries and to know how they work. There's lots of small things that all need to come together to float the brewery project. And we pay attention to those technical details. And we're also paying attention to the customer service side of your details. And it's those 2 facets of the breweries that have to come together. And there's lots of little things that we're working with. And one of those is, as brewers know, like the unit of measure in a brewery is a pallet. All your pathways have to be accessible to the pallet to be able to bring your supplies in and out. One of the aspects of communication that we really like to drive forward in Austin Design is our connection with you, the owner. There's an empathy there, there's a shared experience of developing your dream. That dream is a prime driver, and we're really focused on what we can do to make that dream come true. Different breweries have different attitudes, they have different focuses on things, and we'd like to draw those out of you and then make that real in the project. It was really great working with Sean Lawson of Lawson's Finest Liquids, where for Sean, his community is very important. It's as important as his crafted beer. And that was evident in his project, not only we had set up 2 separate buildings, one for the brewery and one for the tasting room and for where the people gather, but also in the way it connected to his site with a bike trail that goes right through the property and was developed to go to his front door. And he's looking at his community at different scales. He's not only his locals, the people that he interacts with from day to day that come to a place to have a beer, to meet after work, but he's also looking at a greater sense of beer in Vermont. The people are traveling around and trying all the wonderful beers, and then even beer as a full-on mecca or destination. Another thing we pay attention to is the sense of engagement, and it's really how we engage the brewery, how we engage the brand with its clients, with its fans. It's about the passion of the brewers. And a great example of that is working with the Treehouse guys. They have a great sense of passion, and we really focus on how do we bring that out to their fans. And so the experience at Treehouse starts even before you get to the building. There's a process of driving up the hill, crossing the wetlands, arriving in the parking lot, and then walking yourself down into the brewery and onto the mezzanine, where you gaze out at all the brewing equipment. The smell of the brewery comes alive, the clatter is there, and all the other fans around you just sort of builds the energy that is really quintessential to Treehouse. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, and be sure to check out our other videos on designing breweries.